From WCPO 9, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome back to A New Day. Today I have two people joining me who are associated with an organization that refers to themselves as a change agents, who play a pivotal role in the fight for justice and equity. They are from the MLK Coalition Cincinnati. Together, they build a beloved community by embodying the ideals of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through events like the MLK March and program. I'd like to welcome Rafael Prophet, President of the MLK Coalition, and Dr. Rabbi Gary P. Zola, President Emeritus of the MLK Coalition. I'm so happy to have you both here with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now, Rafael, how long have you been with the MLK Coalition?
Well, I've actually been a part of the coalition, especially participating in the march since the mid-'90s, right? Yeah. But really intimately, I've been involved about 8 years now.
Now, what made you want to become a change agent?
Well, you know, I'm a retired firefighter.
Yes.
I was at the end of my career and certainly saw a lot of the disparities and equities as part of my career. And as I was winding down, I became just more interested in really being involved in the coalition. And so I did. I became, more involved, just starting off as a general member, being pushed by some of the leadership to, take some leadership roles and just really starting to see that how we can project as an organization, really some of those issues that we still need to get at.
Absolutely. And Rabbi Zola, how long have you been with the coalition?
Well, actually, I've been with the coalition from the early 90s. It's almost a little more than 3 decades.
Yeah.
And I started out because, the coalition, as the name suggests, was originally a conglomeration of various organizations who sent representatives. This goes back really 55 years. I've learned this history from those who brought me in. And one of the organizations was the Greater Cincinnati Board of Rabbis. And I was newly ordained, or relatively newly ordained, and the president of the board said, I think you would enjoy being our representative to the MLK Coalition.
Okay.
And that's how I got involved. And he was right.
Yeah.
He was right. It was a really important part of my career.
Absolutely. And what keeps you coming back? 3 decades, that's quite some time.
Well, at the beginning, all of the original members were elderly. These are people who started in the 70s.
Yeah.
And their job initially was they were working to get Dr. King's birthday to become a holiday here in Ohio.
Yeah.
And Ohio, as you know, is one of the very first as a state to recognize. Those people were some of them were still involved, and they sort of adopted me. And it reminded me of what you just said a minute ago, the power of invitation, right? If people make you feel that you are needed and you're wanted. And so that happened, and then eventually, I was around long enough. They wanted me to be the president. I was dubious about it because it's very important to the African American community, to have their own leadership. Yeah. Yet those people persuaded me, Dr. King has a message for all America, which I always believed.
Absolutely.
So that's how it happened.
Yeah, so it includes everyone all of
always,
us. Yes. Always. All right, now the March In program already happened, and it seemed like it was a spectacular event, but it was really cold. Why do you guys think that people still come out in droves, even in -degree temperatures?
I tell you, Myra, it did. It really warmed my heart just to see a number of people showed up at the march. And believe it or not, I got a few calls. Say, hey, you think maybe we ought to postpone it or ramp it down? I said, you know what? Those that will come.
Yeah.
And those who will come, they will be prepared. But we have warming buses, we had a warming station at the Freedom Center, and of course, Music Hall. So really, again, it's just warmed my heart, the number of people were there. They just kept coming. We got to Washington Park. They just kept coming.
Amazing. But I'll tell you the other part of it was, I think, the fact that this year it coincided with the change in the national government. And although I'm just speculating, I do think
I think
that
that's probably relevant.
it motivated many people who wanted to come and vote for Dr. King's message.
Yes.
I really feel that was a big part of it. It was
Absolutely.
astonishing. It was
Yeah.
astonishing. When we arrived at Washington Park, we were the first, so we went on to the gazebo and waited for the marchers to follow.
And waited, and
it
waited,
it sort of
and
looked
waited.
like a scene from Exodus, where just throngs and throngs. It was amazing.
That's
Considering
awesome.
it was below 10 degrees.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Now, what was some of your guys' favorite parts of the marching program?
For me, I had the task of opening the program, and so I actually, in the library, helped, and where we went and got one of Dr. King's early sermons as a young minister. I mean, 28 years old.
Yeah.
And so I had the task of making that hour-long sermon into 4 minutes. And so, I mean, it was, going through it, the pride, the emotion, and so putting that together and being able to speak on that was probably the most enjoyable for me.
That's awesome.
Our president spoke at the beginning and gave an inspiring talk. That was very important, but
Yeah.
I think he'll agree with me. One of the highlights every year is we have a fabulous choir. That choir always invites a group of very young children, and they have a children's choir.
Yes.
And these are little kids.
Yes.
And they come from the Islamic school in the community, the Jewish school, and several public schools. And they practice together and they sing songs. And they always get a standing ovation, and they deserve it. It's
Yes.
because it's really at something that concerns us both, which always in the coalition is, what about the next generation?
Yes.
And it's just the symbolic message of that is very, very gripping.
Absolutely. If Dr. King could see us now, right?
Yeah.
Well, how can people get involved with your coalition?
Well, we meet every third Tuesday of the month, and we normally meet at Hebrew Union College, 10 p.m. But you can get all that information on MLKcoalition.org. Just go online, MLKcoalition.org, and we're always looking for new members,
Right.
People who believe in the vision of MLK's beloved community. That's what the Jubilee, the 50th celebration, it's about projecting the beloved community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for
thank
being here
you.
today. We really appreciate it. Keep doing the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We will be right back.